thermal sound wave.
It's Thermal Sound Waves, the natural alternative to fast food radio. We are here, C.Truth, Kev Lawrence.
Yep.
We have a guest that's joining us right about now who does...
Very legalish.
Yes. She can help you out.
Is that a word? Legalish?
Legalish.
Or legal?
Legal.
I mean, she's legal.
She's an advocate. She can help you out in situations, depending on what those are. Not everything. But we're going to find out exactly from our guest that's joining us right now. Hello, Mary. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Great. And joining us right now is the Wall Street lawyer. that's her.
.com.
Wow.
Excuse me. .com. The WallStreetLawyer.com. Yes, indeed.
She on one right now. Huh?
So tell everybody exactly what the Wall Street lawyer is all about. Is it just Wall Street, or is it something else going on besides Wall Street? Break it down for us.
Well, my passion is entrepreneurship because entrepreneurship drives everything. Job creation, poverty alleviation, and innovation. So that's my thing. And, you know, how does that affiliate with Wall Street? I cut my teeth on Wall Street. So that is how I became the WallStreetLawyer.com, which is kind of wrapped up into some things in my book, but I'm long-winded and I don't want to get away from everything.
Right. We'll take a little bits and samples. We won't do the whole,
Just give
the
us
whole
samples,
story, but
sample.
we'll do a little something here.
Consultation.
Yes. Exactly. So was being a lawyer something you always wanted to do coming up, or was that something that you later in life decided to get into?
You know, okay, between you and me, I'm from the hood, right? I'm from the south side of things.
Where are you from? Where you from? Hold on, where you from?
Whoa.
I'm from South Park, Houston, Texas. That's where I grew up.
South Park?
Yeah, I'm from the south side.
South side.
Okay.
Okay, little Kiki.
Okay.
South side. Fat Pat. South side. Yeah, slanging and banging. Okay.
Yeah. You know, from the land of the chocolate screw. Third
coast with it.
All right.
Yeah, SUC.
Yeah. So yeah, I grew up in South Park, and I said that to say that in my family, I was told that I could never be a lawyer. This is why I became an attorney.
Now, why did they say you could never be a lawyer?
Uh-oh.
Well, because I was told that I was not smart.
Wow.
You
Okay.
know,
I've heard stuff like that before.
Yeah, I was told that I was pretty but not smart, and they said that I was an airhead.
Wow.
And I even talk about that, the law of adversity turning problems into opportunities, and it's something I learned very early on because my life was so difficult starting out. So that's how it came to me, because my family member, who was a family lawyer, was a career criminal. You know, don't nobody know the law better than a criminal.
That's true.
So-
That is correct.
And just so people out there know, laws were written by criminals.
Yes, it was.
Wow, I didn't know that. You taught me something.
Yeah,
South side.
This is why so many of them get off, because they were made so that they can get off. Like these, especially when we talk about the history of the United States and you know who were doing those things.
So George, what's the loophole we need? Listen, Thomas, this is a loophole we make for ourselves. Thank you, Thomas. You're welcome, George.
Right. But back to your story, Mary. Back to your story.
Yeah. So that's what, you know, they told me I could never become an attorney. I didn't know if I could become an attorney either. I had never done it before. And you don't really know what you can do until you try it. So that's where the motivation and the inspiration to become an attorney came from.
Gotcha. Okay. So let that be a lesson to everybody out there. Do not listen to what people say when they tell you, oh, you can't do this, or you're not smart enough or bright enough to do this or that, the third. You know, that's a whole lot of nonsense, and that's called hating.
Yeah.
That's called hate.
Yeah, I gotta say that I'm you know, I've had some things. Nobody told me that I was pretty, but they said go do something. So I just did something, you know. But yeah. I'm not pretty like you though, but right. Yeah.
Now coming up, doing the path to be a lawyer, what were some of the obstacles that you had to deal with on your journey to becoming a lawyer?
Whew. You know, some of the obstacles, the journey to becoming an attorney. Oh gosh, life was all, you know, I didn't find school to be difficult. I felt like I could do what it takes and you know, I could show up and I was disciplined. So that was never it for me. It was always everything else.
Let's go. Let's go.
It was life. It was life.
Yeah.
It was life and family in particular, to be honest.
They always say family is always the one that can really hurt you.
I'm sorry?
They usually say family are the ones that know really how to hurt you.
Yeah. And unfortunately, when they're, in issues in certain people and they always hurt the people closest to them. That's just, that's what they do. They lash out at the people closest to them. And so for me, I think a lot of my trauma, it was dealing with family members and drug addictions and things like that.
Gotcha. Now, did you go to school in Houston or did you go out of state?
I did. I went to Sam Houston State University for undergrad, and then I went to Thurgood Marshall School of Law for law school.
Prestigious. Thurgood Marshall School.
Look at God.
Yes.
Absolutely. God work.
Absolutely.
Out of the South Side. Thurgood Marshall. Okay.
That's right.
If Thurgood Marshall said that a lawyer who is not a social engineer is a social parasite.
Wow. Ain't that something?
Yeah, I'm like, man, that's a heavy burden, Thurgood.
All right.
Now, with you going to, the prestigious schools and everything, what were some of the things that were in your neighborhood or even outside your neighborhood, whether it's your city of Houston or your state of Texas, that made you feel like, I definitely have to do this?
That made me feel like what?
That I definitely have to do this.
Everything. I think, maybe being broke as a...
That'll do it real quick.
I don't know. I tell people all the time that is a wonderful motivator. And so, adversity is a hell of a motivator. Mm-hmm. And early on in my life, I think I was motivated by the pain, honestly. And I learned I mastered transmuting pain into positive energy, honestly. Like the girl who could turn straw into gold.
Mary the alchemist.
Yep, the alchemist. Alchemy. I really mastered that. And that is the essence of what I put into my book, blackwallstreet.com. It's what I talk about with the law of adversity, that in every problem, there's an opportunity of equal or greater measure guaranteed.
Now, that's an interesting name. blackwallstreet.com. Yeah, she's on it.
She's marketing.
She's on it.
I love it though. I love it.
We are friends, right? We're friends with her right now. We're friends now. All right, cool. Because we need her. She's on it. She's letting up.
Yeah, no, I bought that domain blackwallstreet.com for $75,000.
Ooh,
wow.
That's the lawyer. That's the lawyer.
A lot of people don't know that's actually a hustle. Domain names is actually a hustle.
Yeah. Yeah, and the man, let me tell you, he went up $200,000, tried to charge $275,000 for it. And guess what? Guess why?
Why is that?
Y'all got to give me one guess. You got to guess.
Because he felt that you may want to do something for the people that went through the harsh times of Black Wall Street over there in Greenwood, Arch and Pine.
That's close. It was because of the death of George Floyd and everything that was going on in America last year.
Wow.
Yep.
That's heavy.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to pause. Kevin's looking at me right now. I paused for a second when you said that.
Wow. Yep, it was that, and then he told me about the movie that LeBron James is working on for Black Wall Street, and he knew that the 100-year anniversary of Black Wall Street was coming up next year, and he said that on top of the death of George Floyd, which had the black-white issue all at an all-time high, he went up to $275,000 on the price.
So you got him to 75.
I got
you got that mouthpiece in. Your mouthpiece must be crazy. Because you're talking about, we're not talking about half.
But see,
I should get like 70% off.
That's that South Side though.
South Side.
See where it all comes in?
South Side.
See where it all comes in?
I tell people all the time, I'm a one-trick pony. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. I ain't got but one trick in the bag, and it's faith. I can't do nothing but thank God for that.
Acting bad. Coming down, acting bad.
It's thermal sound waves.
One thing I'm good at, but the cool thing about it is if you're really good at that thing right there, it will carry you through everything else.
Yes.
And so that's the essence of the book, How to Build a Thriving Black Business Using the Laws of the Universe.
Heavy. It's thermal sound waves, a natural alternative to fast food radio. We're talking to Mary Dean right about now, and her book, Black Wall Street. You can get that, blackwallstreet.com, excuse me.
.com.
You can get that on blackwallstreet.com right now. And she just eloquently broke down the subtitle, How to Build a Thriving Black Business Using the Laws of the Universe.
Yo, C.Truth, for some strange reason, I want to hear swanging right now.
Endorsed by Dr. Iyala Benzant.
Oh, okay. She's on some. All right. Chill out. You showing off right now. You showing off right now. You acting bad. Okay, you showing off. You really from that part of town. Okay, you showing off.
Look at God. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. As we talk about alchemy and all that.
Pop
Mrs.
my
Van
trunk
Zandt.
and damn, go swang and I swang them things. You swanging for real.
Now, I want to ask you about your Wall Street background, but I want to get to some things before that. I met a brother by the name of Aaron Petway for the 100-year centennial of the Black Wall Street, and he's the one that mentioned you to me and told me about, some of the things that you were doing. What in particular were you partaking in with that whole situation in Tulsa?
So I launched my book in Tulsa.
Wow.
I wanted to do the first launch event in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And you all know for what reason, just to be there and really pay my respect and get my feet on the ground and get my hands in the clay. It's one thing to buy the domain and say, okay, now we Black Wall Street,
Right.
But then it's another thing to say, I really want to get into this. And so having my first launch event in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where 100 years ago they bombed the entire place of a thriving Black. And if we would be so blessed and lucky to be able to to do something to really rise and remember them and build something, that could parallel what they did, the magnitude of what they did, because they were forced to. But it's a lot of things to learn about what can be built with practicing group economics.
Absolutely. And
definitely.
If you go there, you can see that like firsthand, like just very easily, like just looking at the array of businesses that were there, you're like,
they were doing it.
And I saw this firsthand with my own eyes, my own two eyes. Like I've read about this.
Your own three eyes.
Yeah, my own three eyes. Absolutely. And maybe more, but that's a whole other story. But I've read about this. I've seen documentaries and all that. But to go there and see it for yourself, you're like, wait a minute, they had all of this here, like right here. Like it was amazing to see that. And they had everything.
And big shout out to the Gap Band, because maybe you don't know about the Gap Band.
I didn't put that two and two together until I went there either.
People don't know about the Gap Band.
Yeah.
Greenwood, Orchard, and Pine.
That's right.
You dropped the bomb on me.
You dropped the bomb on me.
Yeah.
Now, see, that just shows you that even when you're dancing and you're drinking, you're still learning.
Right.
But you don't even realize you learned until decades later.
You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
The African folklore, how we had to pass the history down because it wasn't being taught.
Yes.
And one of the things, the most interesting thing that I found about being there was that a lot of people didn't talk about it, and that a lot of people who were native to the area didn't learn about it. So maybe they were in their 20s and they had to maybe do a little digging on their own. So that made me think of a time where your history was not taught, and that was the way that they preserved their story. You dropped a bomb on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and
it's like how they did fighting. They did fighting through dance.
Exactly. It's all still carried on to this day, even if you're not aware of it. We're still doing that, which is why like rap music is attacked so much, with that's a whole other story. We're not gonna get into that, but it's that griot system where you pass down messages and things to the next generation, which is so important, which we continue to do to this day, that people want to stop.
Also in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I believe there was a woman named Lucille Thompson. And I remember seeing something on her, and she is a very unknown, famous person that started a trend decades later that is still going on to this day. Lucille Thompson. She walked into a store to buy a hat from a white-owned store, and they didn't want her to buy any hats. They said, we don't want your kind buying hats. I said, why? Because your hair is greasy. So what she did was she took out a napkin and put it by the brim of the hat and put the hat on to see if the hat looks nice on her. And because of that, when you go into a hat store in New York, they usually give you a napkin to put on the inside part of the hat so it doesn't sweat that hat when you're trying it on, because that's, if it sweats it out, then you can't.
Started that.
She started that. Lucille Thompson.
There you go.
That's interesting.
More history. Now, what are some of the things that people can take away once they get your book and once they read your book? Will they become lawyers, business owners? Like, what are some of the things that they learn when they read Black Wall Street, building black businesses using the laws of the universe?
Well, I hope they become black business owners, thriving black business owners, because that's what the book is designed to help them do. I actually go over the 4 legal pillars that every business needs to stand them up, in addition to the laws of the universe. That's on that whole spiritual kick, because you can't do nothing without spirit, right? And getting your spirit in order. There's not any action in the world that can make up for that. So I get into that in the laws of the universe, but back to the laws of the land, the portion of the legalities of a business. So I go over the 4 pillars: the legal, insurance, finance, and tax systems that every business needs to lift that business to the next level. And I called that my Black Wall Street lift pillar. So,
but what if I just got a business? So I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? I make my cash. They pay me my hand. I sell something, you know, they pay me my hand. Why do I need to have all that legal things? Why is that necessary?
Well, starting an entity helps you. Well, one of the biggest reasons to have an entity is tax savings. Everybody got to pay taxes. So unless you're getting your stuff cash, because if you're getting your stuff cash, then don't nobody know what you're making no way. And neither do Uncle Sam. But if you're really trying to run a legitimate business, that business is going to have to pay taxes. And so when you start putting yourself in, even if you don't have a business, if you're just a W-2 employee salary, you may still want to start a business so that you can take advantage of some of the tax deductions, things that you would normally pay for. You can now have those items itemized in your deductions. Your dry cleaning, you send your clothes to the cleaners, clothes that you do wear to work.
That's true.
You with the radio station, your airtime that you pay for, everything that you pay in furtherance of that business, including all of the other miscellaneous things that you use every single day. Your dry cleaning, your car note, maybe if you're using your car for business.
That's right.
Your rent, if you have a home-based business, you can start itemizing parts of things, portions that you pay of your rent. So the main reason to start a business is to take advantage of the tax savings. The other reason why you start a business is to protect your personal resources from any type of litigation. So if you're out there that you may be sued for doing business. So if someone comes and sues your business, you want them to be able to come after your business only and not be able to come after any of your personal assets.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So it's liability protection. So those are the 2 main reasons to start a business: is liability protection and to save bukus of money on taxes. And when it comes to saving bukus of money on taxes, we call that living the corporate lifestyle.
Right.
Living the corporate lifestyle. This dinner is on me, guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Dinner's on her. She said it. She said it. Dinner's on her.
About. Yes.
Oh, I got it. Uncle
right.
Sam got it.
That's right. Okay, when we go down to Texas and to Houston and we see Miss Dean, lunch is on her.
I'm gonna say I got it, and we going on air again.
That's right.
But put it in my name, for the check. Just write the check in my name though. But you pay for it, but write the check in our name though. You know what I mean? We need that. Yeah.
But all of those things become itemized deductions that you get to take out of business expenses that get to be taken off of your income before your taxes are even calculated.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely, no doubt. I mean, this is a great book to have just as a reference to keep going back to learn all of these things and to have these things. And I understand also you do a little social media strategy as well, and how to brand the business and stuff like that as well. Is that in there as well?
I do mention that a little bit. I do have some other workbooks that I have for sale at blackwallstreet.com where I get into the branding. I like branding. I got into branding. Like I said, I was always I eat adversity and grow wings. And so I had a business partner in marketing, and branding was their thing. And when they didn't do their thing anymore, it seems like I acquired that skill. And so I was blessed enough to brand myself as the WallStreetLawyer.com. And, I got into the .coms. I remember when Tamar Braxton was big, everything was .com. But that is digital real estate.
That's true.
And there is a lot of money to be made online.
Intellectual property.
Brothers yes, intellectual property online. But that whole digital real estate, because now .coms is just like real estate. If the .com is taken, you can't get that .com.
That's true.
And this guy, how much did he pay to register that .com? And I bought his domain for $75,000.
BlackWallStreet.com.
Yo, that's not even. That's like 70% off. Like, who are you, yo?
Mary Dean Esq, author of BlackWallStreet.com. Black businesses, building black businesses using the laws of the universe. Endorsed by Ayanna Van Zant.
Yes.
Can we say we're friends now?
I'm sorry?
Can we say we're friends?
Yes, we are friends.
Okay,
we're
good.
Friends.
All right.
We're friends.
Your mouthpiece must be on something. For everybody out there, when I say mouthpiece, I'm talking about her game, her talking, to get something like 70% off. Right. You the woman.
Her business acumen is on point.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I appeal to his better nature. It was not, if I had came at it trying to, there was no negotiating with nothing but his heart.
Whatever. I know what that means. She got him.
Well, it's true. And how can you, at this time, in this climate, because of the death of George Floyd, I'm a black woman. I want to use this to uplift my people. How dare you go up to $200,000? Now,
That's true. Let them know. Tell them.
Come on now.
Absolutely. We're talking to Mary Dean Esq, BlackWallStreet.com. Where you can find the information on her. All her social media is the Wall Street Lawyer, TheWallStreetLawyer.com as well. Now, real quickly, and we're going to get you out of here. We're not going to keep you too long. I know you got a lot of things that you're working on. Tell us about your first experiences working on Wall Street, because a lot of people have different experiences when they go there. So tell us about your experience there.
Well, so I'm a proud graduate of Thurgood Marshall School of Law, and I was trained to say a lawyer who is not a social engineer is a social parasite. A lawyer who is not uplifting society is taken from society. Is very clear cut. You need to be a social engineer. And so I've always prided myself on being a social activist and wanting to uplift and, do my work in the world and to make the world a better place. And so when I moved to New York, to be honest, the only work that I could find was in the financial capital of the world, because they were being sued. All the banks were being sued.
Wow.
It was right at the height of the recession, and it was during the Occupy Wall Street movement. And I just moved there, and so the only work I could find was on Wall Street. They were hiring like crazy, and you could work crazy hours. You could work Wall Street hours, and that meant 13-hour days.
Right.
Sure, you get a car service to pick you up and take you home, but hell, it's mine.
Right. Yeah. No doubt.
And so that's what time it was. I was hungry, so I showed up to eat. I hated it. And that's right around that time. That's also when I found out someone very close to me was addicted to drugs. Crystal meth, actually.
Wow. That's serious.
That's deep. Crystal meth is no joke.
No, that's like Satan's drug, Mm-hmm. Like, And so it was the first time I got that phone call. So I'm working down there in the financial district. I hated it. And I got that call that my business partner and best friend and ride or die was, while they were under the influence of it for the first time. And so that's when everything clicked for me. And I was literally working 13 hours a day, and I would go on my lunch break with my little picket sign and try to protest and then go back to work for the man. I hated being there. And so when I got that call, that's when I decided, well, God, who am I? You got me. You told me, you came to me in a dream. You told me to move. I moved. I did what you told me to do. And now I'm here working for the man. How is that walking in your purpose? I'm out here working for the man on Wall Street. This is not who I am. And my business partner strung out on that stuff. What are you doing? What are you doing? And so I started asking him, who am I? Like, what you do? Like, who am I? I'm obviously not this who I thought I was, because my business partner is dad. And this is so what is who am I? Who am I? And that is when I heard the WallStreetLawyer.com.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Mary Dean Esq, ladies and gentlemen. BlackWallStreet.com is the book. Black businesses, building black businesses using the laws of the universe. Make sure you get that. BlackWallStreet.com. It's been a pleasure having you on, and we are definitely going to have you back on the program because I know there's some things that you are doing that, you know, the world needs to know about, our audience needs to know about.
Definitely.
And, we definitely want to be involved with that as well, especially when it comes to that coalition of businesses. We definitely
is that
want
on
to be a
social
part
media
of that.
too? Is that on Instagram as well?
She's
Can you repeat?
She's the Wall Street Lawyer on Instagram.
Okay, cool.
Yes, yeah, I am the Wall Street Lawyer.
Definitely. Now, can we get a little gift? Could we get a Black Wall Street over here on this side of things?
Can I get $70,000?
I don't need that. I just want a book.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
I could. You know what? I could do you one better.
Okay.
When the course come out, I want to take you guys through it.
Okay.
And maybe see about ways to help level up your business and your brand.
Okay.
Merchandising or whatever. But we'll do something like that.
Okay.
That way we can come back on and talk about it. And when I'll take you guys through your legal, your insurance, your finance and tax systems. And so making sure that you're maximizing everything that you have. And so, yes, and I'll give you guys a book because you have to do your homework. Okay?
Beautiful.
And will you be doing audiobooks in the future?
I will. Yes. Yep. But the course is going to be a video. I'm actually working on my transcripts as we speak because I do reference the course a lot in the book. The book, the book took a lot to write, but the book is like, now that I'm done with that, it's like, I got to get the course now. I got to pull this course out my ass,
No question. And we know you do it. We'll know you get all that done because you on it.
Southside.
So I'm working on that, but as soon as it's done, then I can take you guys through the whole of program and we'll come back on the air and talk about that. Because look, to build Black Wall Street is going to take us all to working together collectively.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you once again. It's been an absolute pleasure. Miss Mary Dean Esquire, blackwallstreet.com. On social media, it's the Wall Street Lawyer. Make sure you get that book. Make sure you hit her up as well. And definitely enjoy the rest of your evening, night, afternoon, whatever it is that you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing because you're doing some great work.
Great.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. It's Thermal Sound Waves, the natural alternative to fast food radio.
Thermal Sound Wave.